Hello everyone, it's Ozgun here. Welcome to the channel. So I released Opera Rave with my brother Forehand in Mainground music, and in the Beatport Mainstage hype charts, we are #1. So that's my biggest achievement so far. I really appreciate for all the support that you show to the track. And in this tutorial, I'm gonna show you how we produce this track. I'm gonna be explaining the project file, and also in the end of the video, you will see my ADE footage. And if you're ready, let's jump to the tutorial. So guys, I have two different projects in my PC. One is the first production project and the other one is the mixing project. I'm gonna show you both of them. Unfortunately, I don't have the breakdown project. Forehand did the breakdown. And also he added several scenes, several stuff to the track, so I don't have them on my end. But still, I have plenty things to show you. Let's start with the kick and bass. So this is the kick I have, the kick and rumble from Lister Specs. But I thought I could add a little bit more air and ambience to the kick, so I layered this sample. So this is actually, just like an acoustic kick sample, but I get rid of the attack of it and also get rid of most of the frequencies just to use the air part of it. And also I have another kick as the top kick with these three together. You see, it's giving a little bit life to the kick. And I grouped the kicks and just get rid of a little bit of 3K because I thought that was a little bit annoying. And for the rumble, that's the sound, but I just low pass. Just use it as a sub because I needed to have some space for my, rolling bass. The preset was sounding like that. I'm of course getting rid of the low frequencies so it doesn't clash with the rumble. And I'm adding some saturation. And with the visual mix rack, the first two is I think not doing anything. The third EQ is just adding 12K, adding 4K, giving a little bit of presence to the sound. And also with the lift module here, I'm boosting the lows. And for the air modules, I'm just adding a little bit air to the sound. And this is just a clipper. And then I'm using some drive for another saturation plugin. Then I'm EQing it. So the reason I'm not cutting it, because I already cut it in the first EQ. But in here, if I cut it, it will just shift the phases a little bit, but I didn't want this to be happen. So that's why I just put a shelf. This is much more transparent. And then I'm just with soft clipping the sound. Even there's no clipping happening, I think this is just in case. So for the basses, especially the rolling basses, it has the peaks. You might need to clip the peaks, but the problem is if you hard clip it, you will get tons of distortion, unwanted artifacts. So that's why soft clipping on a bass is much more safe. And then this is the sidechain. And the bass has this macro. So I'm just open a little bit cut off towards the ending of the phrase. This preset is from İlkay Sancan, by the way. It's a dope bass preset. And yeah, this is how the low end sounds like. And also, let's check. I think in the group, I also have a processing. I'm putting a channel strip from SSL again. And I'm just boosting the 2K 7 dBs to give the meat, the body to the sound. Like this is affecting whole kick and bass. And then I have a clipper, but this is again doing nothing, just in case staying in there. And for the drums, I have plenty of different layers. So layering almost 3 hi-hats with a rolling hi-hat loop. And I'm also introducing another top loops. And in the end, I'm just introducing the rides. Even I have a bongo loop. It's very subtle, but just adding a nice groove to the track. And maybe I can show you the most used question. How did I come up with this, the vocal, stuttery vocal sound? I think I just find this sample in Splice. It's sounding like that. I just put this in key, and in the ending, I'm also like chopping it. But the magic happens with some plugin. Let me show it to you. It's the Transgate plugin by Kilohertz. You can do it with Grossbeat. You can do it with anything, It's not something magical, but I like to use this plugin. So this plugin is just cutting the sounds, and then we are getting this effect. So at first I give it distortion, then just clean the low end, and then I put this gate effect. And after that, this is my old vocal patch just to give sidechain delay to the sound. And then I'm using reach to give some reverb. And then with OTT, I'm just gluing and compressing my whole chain. And then I'm routing this channel to the next. And in there, I'm just, doing my main processing, main polishing. Just getting rid of some peaks with the channel strip, giving it high-end and mid-range boost. With this Fusion Stereo Image plugin, this is just to volume up the site information. This is not a stereo imaging plugin, not like the others. So this is not generating stereo information. This is just voluming up the site frequencies, that's all. So vintage drive again, and this is for filtering, decapitator for even more distortion, heat wave for even more distortion, and then suit for just getting rid of the unwanted frequency peaks, and adjust the low shaft to clean it a little bit. And that wasn't enough. I just routed to the next channel, applied some clipping, and after clipping, I distort this a little bit more, like 20% with isotope trash, and last EQ, and this is the sidechain. Yeah guys, the whole track is based on this kick and bass and the stuttering choir combination. And then also we have some background stuff like that, like the synth shots, that kind of FX's ear candies. So other than that, we have a drone sound in the background. And we don't want it to get too repetitive. That's why we have this acid shots. It's just hitting one note only. And yeah, as you see, this acid also turning on in the cutoff filter. So I record this sound with Behringer TD3. And processing wise, actually, I did tons of things. So it sounds like that. So with the pancake, I'm just panning it left, right a little bit. And adding some distortion for character. And then distortion, saturation. This is for filtering. This is the delay I'm using. It's sounding very analog. So two different isotope traces, two different distortion, getting rid of the lows. So I'm this time lowering the stereo information so I can put this sound a little bit more mono, the acid sound, so the choir can be wide, the acid could be more narrow. Then they could be separated in the mixing. Just a little bit EQ, and then more distortion, more saturation. And in the last chain, with the OTT, I'm gluing the tracks. So track spacer is just 5% working. It's just to separate the acid from the choirs. And then I'm just clipping and side chaining. So this is how I turned this basic dry sound into something like that. So I think that's it for this project. Let's go to the final mixing project of this track. As I said, I don't have the break, unfortunately, the break project, but still I can show you several stuff about the break as well. So I sent the stamps to Forehand. He worked on his side and sent me back the new stamps. So I just put them inside of a fresh project and make the final mixing and mastering in here. I also added one more layer to the kick. I still thought the kick could stand out a little bit, so that's why I decided to layer that sound. And with the mixing wise, for example, in here, I just put a little bit of, not a little bit, tons of limiting to the sub. So I just boost it as much as I can. And then let's check for the rolling bass. Even more saturation and some EQ. Let's see if I did anything for the kick. So yeah, kick has also a 60 Hz boost because we thought the initial hit punch of the kick wasn't enough. So that's why just a little bit 2 dB of boost. Now the kick can move my chest when it hits. And with the transient processor in the group, because we also have the rolling bass, we have a kick. So we just boost the attack of the transient processor. So the click attack of the kick and also the rolling bass could be much more in your face. And we are hard clipping the kick and bass just in the limit, not to introduce much distortion. So yeah, as you see, having a separate stamp project always so beneficial. You can make more processing and you can just finalize the sounds how you like it. So for the choir sound, as you see, this is much more polished than the previous project because we have more saturation. With the violet EQ, we are boosting a little bit of low, so we will get more body to the sound. And with Pultec EQ, we are also boosting the 100 Hz a little bit and also 4K a little bit. This is all for coloring, matching the sounds together. So this is one of my patches. I already have the free download link for this in the channel. I'm gonna put a card from here, I think. So this is like Oxford inflator, just a wave shaping and yeah, giving it more saturation. And then also some hard clipping to the choir lead. And it worked pretty nicely. I think Forehand added some more steps. I think this one. Yeah, just more ear candy always welcomed. And he added this, guys. So maybe I can play them with the kick and bass. Now the track has enough ear candy when they combined with the previous ones that I added. So the drop sounds so full in this case. So let's jump to the break. In the break, he sent me, the break scenes, the melodies, everything. But in the end, I also added some more layers to the break. So I added a respace. And also I added some orchestral elements to extend the break vibe a little bit. So like huge break, guys. Like we got a nice melody with harmonic synths. Forehand nailed this. It sounds super huge. And with this brass and orchestral sounds, so yeah, one of the epic breaks I have ever listened in my tracks, I can say that. So in the second drop, Forehand added this another choir shot. And yeah, when I first heard this, I said, yes, this was the missing in the second drop. So for processing wise, we got fresh air to give even more high end. This is our polishing, a little bit more high end boost. Of course, clip control for a very nice saturation. OTT for compression. This is just delay. Some vintage drive and some violet EQ to, again, all of them drive or EQ, because in this case, you don't need to make a sound design. You just need to make it polish and fit to the mixing of your track. And yeah, so the second drop starts with acid and this Neve choir sound. And in the middle of the second drop, we are introducing again the first drop leads. The good thing with I like this track, the tension is always rising. There's always tension and it's always driving, you know. So such a nice peak time techno track. So in the end of the second drop to the outro, I also add this riser. Okay guys, before I end the video, of course, I gotta show you the mastering, because you will ask it anyway. So for the mastering, this is the compressor I have. I'm approximately getting like 4 dB of gain reduction. Even 3. And then just an EQ. So as you see, this is a little bit complicated, I know. So what I done, I just get rid of the low frequencies, but not by cutting, but with a low shaft. This was much more transparent. And also to get even more punch from the kick, I just put this dynamic EQ to my fundamental frequency, which is D1. And also I get rid of a little bit of mid frequencies for the second octave. So which means if I have more side information, that would be more obvious. This is not I always do, but it works in this case. So I had some annoying frequencies in 300. I just dip it with dynamic EQ. A little bit more deep on 1.5K. I think this 3K was resonating as hell. And lastly, I just boost 5K to get more clarity on the mix. And with this master EQ, I'm boosting 1K a little bit, so for more mids, and also 8K just for coloring. So this is kind of interesting. I just put pop filter saturation to my master. It's not working below 500 Hz and it's only work on above 500 Hz. So this is on mid side mode and I'm just saturating the side signal, not touching the mono much. And then which makes track sounds much more white, you know, because the side signal gets more warm and they become more obvious. And this is my first and only time using this technique in this track. And before Ozgun, I'm having the Bristol. I already talked about it in my previous tutorials. With this Bristol, I'm getting the analog taste of my track. So this Bristol has in every channel, guys, like in every group, you know, for example, choir group, I have it. I don't know, for example, perks, drum fills, you know, hi-hats. In every channel, I have this. And like all of the channels are summarizing from this, you know, passing through this plugin. And then this is the one that I put in the master. You can control all of the other Bristol channels from just this main module. So basically this plugin just giving a little bit touch and depth, you know, this is it makes it sounds like you are producing and mixing this track with a real analog console. This is just a simulation of it. If you guys want a detailed tutorial, just let me know in the comment section. I can also shoot that. And lastly, I have Ozgun. First of all, I have the stereo majors, just making 70 Hz and below. This time just focusing on the sub frequencies fully mono. I don't touch low mids and high mids. For the upper frequencies, I just widen it up a little bit. And with the exciter, I'm just exciting the high mids and highs. So I get more, I don't know, warm, crisp, and yeah, saturated sound. And for the maximizer, just through pick on, and I'm boosting till I satisfied with the loudness. So yeah, guys, this is how we produce this Opera Rave banger, Beatport #1. I'm gonna keep saying that because this is first time happening to me. So if you have any questions regarding to this track, don't forget to write in the comment section. Today that was it, guys. Now I'm gonna show you some of my ADA footage. So see you on the next video. Bye bye.
From over this rest, bitch. Yes, bitch. Yes, bitch. Enjoy.